you got in to see Dominic Raab. That in itself was a good thing.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I don't... You need to speak to Tim, because I didn't go yesterday. I've got to be completely honest, I was far too fragile still from seeing the footage that we sat through on Friday that was aired on Saturday. So I had to stay home yesterday.
Are these the pictures of Anne Sacoolas back in the car, back behind the wheel, over in the States and driving again? What impacted those pictures?
Horrific. It's one thing seeing old photos of her that, you know, have been around on TV and everything for a few months now, but completely different actually seeing video footage of
And we're
her.
not showing them now because you're explaining the effect that watching those...
I don't want to see them again.
And what they are, it's just her driving like nothing's happened, like carrying about her normal life.
And that was horrific to watch. It was heart-shattering, actually, to watch that she could get back behind the wheel of a car. I mean, you know, everyone in our family that we've spoken to, because I've not seen many people outside of our family the last few days, because I've not been able to, just nobody can understand how on earth you could get back behind a wheel so damn quickly.
So, Tim, Charlotte can't make the meeting. We can understand why. I mean, every day must be a fragile day.
Absolutely.
You have had your run-ins with the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab. The last time you were here, we were talking about the fact that you turned up at a campaigning event. He'd been a little dismissive.
Piers managed to sort that out for us when we managed to get in touch and we organised a meeting.
How did it go?
Obviously, I was apprehensive after the last time I've met him, but I must say yesterday was a much more constructive meeting.
Yeah.
He was more open. It was more at ease setting. The setting was different. And he talked honestly. He explained some things to us that obviously he'd never been explained before, and the way...
What made you feel better after talking to him?
Well, he supported us. He come out and said he believes that Anne should come back, and he says it's... he believes now there's nothing he can do. It is open now for her, for the CPS, to charge her and bring her back.
Well, let's bring in Nick Adderley, Chief Constable of Northamptonshire Police. What is the reality? Can you guys compel this woman to come back from the United States to face justice?
No, the bottom line is no, and this is the brutal truth that obviously we've been speaking with the family about, that actually now, under the Extradition Act of 2003, which was reviewed most recently in 2003, 2006, actually now once we get the charge, and we're hoping that that will come any moment now, we will then apply for that warrant, the warrant of arrest. We then go down to Westminster Magistrates, and through the Home Office then we start the extradition process. Of course, then that legal process will take place between the two authorities within the UK and within the US, and it will be determined at that level. We can do, and I have made a commitment to the family that we will do all that we can, keeping that pressure on, absolutely, because we want to see that lady come back here and face justice.
Why is it taking so long? And are you able to comment on the fact it's taking so long for the Crown Prosecution Service to press charges? I mean, this happened back in August. It's now just before Christmas. Why would it take them so long?
All I can say is...
You've presented your file of evidence.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The Crown Prosecution Service are an independent body, and when we met yesterday, I was talking about the line that I have actually crossed already in terms of pushing the CPS. They have to remain impartial, as do the police. So we are waiting and expecting that today. It is not unusual, and I've been in this business quite a long time, it's not unusual for this length of time to be taken. But in a case like this, and let's be really clear, this is a very straightforward case in terms of a death on the road in the UK. The complexity lies within this lady, whether she had or didn't have diplomatic immunity, whether she's going to come back of her own free will, or whether we have to go through the court process. My assumption is, and I don't have this, I can't say this with authority, my assumption is that the Crown Prosecution Service are working all of that through, so hopefully they can then make the decision. I'm optimistic it's going to be absolutely this week. They will make their decision and then give the determination and the explanation to the family as to why it's taken this long.
To put into context the impact on your family, Charlotte, Harry's brother...
Twin brother.
We discovered today hasn't left the home since this happened. I mean, that's an extraordinary and very sad. I mean, how does he cope with this? How's he finding it?
He drifts through every day, still. It's the only word we can use. You know, we are wading through fog from the minute you force yourself to get up in the morning to the minute you go to bed, and every day you wake up, you just hope that charge is going to come. And going back to that, I think it is quite important that people are aware that actually the US have never turned down an extradition request from the UK.
That's very significant.
Yes.
But has there ever been one like this where diplomatic immunity has been in play?
I don't know.
That's the complication, isn't it?
It
that
is.
she technically has claimed this diplomatic immunity, and that would override, I assume, any extradition process. So it really comes down to whether the Americans are prepared to, I guess, overlook her immunity status.
Yeah.
That is the way you'll get the
If
extradition.
she has it, which
is still questionable, isn't it?
It is to us, yeah.
It is.
You're
And my
facing
lawyers.
your first Christmas without your boy. It's going to be agony, I would imagine, for you. Have you thought about it yet? Are you...
Trying not to.
Yeah.
It really, really is that simple. Desperately trying not to.
Coping without him is unimaginable. I mean, the grief that you're going through. And I can't imagine that anything will alleviate that.
No.
But what would charges in this case mean for you?
Allow us to start our counselling and our grieving counselling, because, you know, we have our moments. I've had some really bad ones the last few days, but there is a lot that's locked down, an awful lot that's locked down because of this fight that we've had no choice but to go through.
I wonder if all of your grief is wrapped up in this sort of frustration and anger, and it's hard to disentangle those. You need to focus
It is definitely, isn't it?
on
We
your
need help
loss.
with that.
Yeah.
We need help to be able to start the grieving process properly. And the anger that I felt at the weekend from seeing what I saw has just completely overwhelmed.
It was a smack in the teeth. For her just to be out driving that car like nothing's happened whilst avoiding any form of accountability, I found as disgusting. And I'm not you, so God knows how you two felt. Chief Constable, charges are coming.
We hope.
Can she be prosecuted in her absence?
Now, that is part of the conversations that have been taking place. Now, that is not an ideal situation.
Is it possible?
You'd have to ask the CPS in terms of what they would want to, their preferred option around some of this. That is not a preferred option. I've made that really clear. In the Crown Prosecution Service, that is not their preferred option either. Whether it's possible or not, the complexity of this around diplomatic immunity, whether she had it or not, whether it now, we know that it now doesn't apply within the US, will it reapply if she comes back into the UK? All that is the thing. All that is the stuff that the Crown Prosecution Service are now working through.
Charlotte, would it bring you any closure if she was to be convicted, say, without actually coming back?
It would help us immensely.
But that would give you closure.
Absolutely. You know,
it would.
Because it would be
was
evidence-
the promise to Harry.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yes.
promise to Harry was to get that justice done, and to get that conviction in place would be a huge part of that promise.
Yeah.
Listen, we said we'd keep on this. We are going to keep on this.
Thank you.
Come back in the new year. Let us know how it's all going. We wish you all the very best. It's going to be a difficult time for you, but try and make the best of it as you can. You're an amazingly strong
We've got each other.
group of people. Honestly, it's amazing.
Thank you.
You're very inspiring, and we wish you all the very best. But we will keep on it like you are. So
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for your
stay in
help.
touch with us.
Best
Thank you.
wishes.
Thank you.
It's going to be tough.